As a companion, you'll be spending each day with your participants while they learn a new skill. Your role as a companion is to keep safety at the forefront of your mind, help when needed, but most importantly, be there to listen. Enjoy the views and just be a buddy to the participant you're paired with. This does not mean you have to become their best friend by the end of the week. Just be there if they need someone to talk to or just need someone to listen to them. You might be surprised what you and the participant have in common. You should also be prepared to assist the participant or guide in simple ways like having extra sunscreen and water. 2 weeks before the FX, we will have a pre-call to go over all the details, so make sure you're checking your email prior to the FX so you don't miss anything. You'll also be getting a packing list from me with an email. Make sure you follow it to a T. Being prepared is one of the most important things you can do as a companion. Of course, one of the biggest parts of our FXs is the fishing. While you're on the FX, each participant is assigned a professional guide for the week to teach the participants how to fly fish. The guide is the boss. Please listen to what they say. Don't ask to fish or hint about fishing. Please wait for the guide to offer. Just sit, relax, and take in the views. Here is what you need to know about fishing during the week.
You don't have to be an expert fly fisherman. You can have a lot of experience, but we want to make sure that the guides are taking care of the warriors. The job as a companion is just to be there for the warrior, enjoy the time on the river, check out the scenery, point out birds, and maybe give some tips, but basically just be there for the warrior. If you do have experience as a fly fisherman, please try to keep most of your tips and tricks to yourself, as it can get a little confusing with the guide and yourself. Every day is a great day out there and it's an experience, so we try not to dwell on how many do we catch, how many do we lose, no cheerleading. This is a great time to listen. Instead of just telling about our stories as fishermen, let's listen to the warriors' stories. Don't forget to offer water and sunscreen when we're out there on the water. Even if it's cold and windy, always need to hydrate. You can always use sunscreen. I'd say the number one thing as a companion is to be prepared. Bring your boots, your waders, your extra gear. Make sure you have your whole list ready to go. Also, don't forget that out on the water, it can be really peaceful and calming. And when things get quiet, let some of that calmness come and enjoy the silence. It's okay to not talk and just take it all in for a little bit. At the start of the FX, don't hesitate to reach out to the guide and ask them if there's anything they need for help throughout the week.
Here is what you need to know about being a companion.
Hi, my name is Larry Whitinger. I've been a companion starting clear back as 2015. I absolutely love the job. You have the least amount of responsibility, but the most important job. What I mean by that is you're there with the warrior all the time. And there's not really a whole lot of defined responsibilities, but that's kind of the freedom of it. You basically just need to help create the environment where it's relaxing, it's open. They just need to sit here, relax, and enjoy fishing and enjoy Montana, enjoy people taking care of them. Have some emotional intelligence to what that person is like. Not everybody is a good listener. Not everybody is a chatty-Cathy on both sides of that. So you need to just kind of spend a little bit of time getting to know them and building that rapport with them. You don't want to be invasive right off the bat. As time goes on throughout the week here at Quiet Waters, you as a companion may get really close and personal with that guy, but you may not. You're going to have an amazing opportunity to make good quality friendships. Some key important tasks that you do need to do. You will make sure that the warrior has the gear that they need to have. Because it's Montana and it'll snow or it'll be hot or whatever type of weather throughout the day when you're out there fishing with them, there's not really too many specified tasks that you absolutely have to do. Talk with your fishing guide. Say, hey, when we're out on the boat or we're walking this creek, what do you want me to do? And he will let you know. One of the things that I typically did as a companion was anytime the warrior caught a fish, I was usually working the net, especially if we were in a boat. I've been on some really cold FXs and I've been on some really hot FXs. Every once in a while, I would just sit there and say, hey man, you cold? You need some of this gear, you need some of that. Does anybody need water? Some of the guys get a little off-put at first about solely being taken care of, right? So when you're interacting with them, treat it like it's a group thing. You can ask everybody, to include the fishing guide or other warriors, other companions that are around you. Hey, does anybody need water? Does anybody need sunscreen? Being a good listener is probably one of the best skills. Don't make them feel like they're on the spotlight, that they're the center of attention. Just be there to help them, talk to them, help them with whatever the fishing guide wants you to do for those guys. Pay attention to that guy and think to yourself, if I was him, what would it take me to relax and have a good time around here?
So you're probably wondering what the schedule is like for a companion during the week on an FX. On Monday, all companions will show up to the ranch to meet with the volunteer lead, team leader, assistant team leader, and all other companions. At this meeting, we will go over any last-minute changes, answer any final questions, and issue you your backpack and gear for the week. You will also get to know your team leader and assistant team leader for the FX, as well as the kitchen crew and all other companions. After the volunteer meeting, we invite you all to stay for dinner. Before dinner, you will learn which participant you'll be paired with for the week, so you can get to know them over dinner. Expect an email from me the week prior notifying you of the address to our ranch and the time of the meeting. As I mentioned, we will issue you a companion backpack to use for the week that contains any items necessary to help in your role as a companion. You can keep your lunch and all other items in this backpack throughout the week. Just make sure to remember to clean it out. You don't want to leave your phone or keys in the bag either. At the end of the week, you will turn in your companion bag back into your team leader or assistant team leader. Let's check out what's inside. Bug spray, hand warmers, a notepad, a pen, sunscreen, a waiting staff, a Gerber tool, and a first aid kit. Tuesday, show up at Quiet Waters Ranch in the morning a few minutes before breakfast. After breakfast, you will go with the rest of the group to what we call Fly Fishing 101, where the participants will learn from a professional guide the basics of fly fishing. Each participant is also paired with a guide who will be with them for the remainder of the week. We will break at noon for a picnic lunch and then fish until mid-afternoon. After Fly Fishing 101, everyone will head back to the ranch and relax and have dinner. Companions are encouraged to stay for dinner each night. We do our best to limit the number of vehicles we take to Fly Fishing 101, so please plan to carpool. Wednesday and Thursday are both full fishing days. Please show up at Quiet Waters Ranch in the morning to have breakfast with the participants and all other companions. After breakfast, everyone will go to a fishing location chosen by our fishing operations manager for a full day of fishing. We will provide lunch to you while you're out on the water. After fishing, we will head back to the ranch and have dinner. Friday is Warrior Departure Day. As a companion, you don't need to show up to the ranch this day.
At Quiet Waters Ranch, our Red Barn is available for volunteer housing. However, there is a limited number of rooms, so we prioritize our volunteer moms, team leaders, and alumni. Plan to let our volunteer lead, Casey, know what your housing plan is prior to volunteering, and if you would like to be notified if there's an extra room for you to stay. While we can't guarantee housing or provide travel arrangements to get here, we can ensure that all of your meals will be covered while on the FX. If you need lodging, we do have a discount with a hotel here in Bozeman.